Hi there, Release Fight here. So continuing on with my guide for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it's time to take down Moebius K. It's a big bad boss fight. He's got an absolutely massive health bar that takes ages to take down. But hopefully the video is going to show you how to beat Moebius K. If it does, drop me a like below. But to start off with, I just wanted to talk through some of the setup. I know I did a bit of this setup in my previous video, but the main idea is that I've got 3 healers in my party, and that means I'm able to stay in the fight so much better. So I've got 2 tactical gunners and then 1 tactician, and that's 3 people, 3 of my party that are able to heal and revive my team, and that's a big part of staying in the game. You can see what level I'm at this stage in the game. I'm at 19 and 18, and that's definitely enough to be able to beat Moebius K, and for the most part it's just a case of getting behind him and doing as much damage with your arts and using the fusion and using everything that you've got in your kit, especially when you turn into the Ouroboros. And the good thing about this stage in the game is that you get more than 1 Ouroboros. So Noah and Mio can turn into 1, and then I think Uni and Taeon turn into 1, and Lance and Senna turn into 1, and you get that on rotation. You don't need to control the others, but it definitely helps to do some damage and get some good healing. You can see here, I think Lance and Senna are about to turn into an Ouroboros, and that massively helps. The other thing that I did a lot more in this fight is that I moved around. So you can see I'm kind of getting punched and I'm getting a lot of the aggro focus, but by moving around it means that I can get closer to my healers, I can use some of the shielding from my defenders, and it also means that Moebius K misses every now and again or gets blocked. Now a big part of that is my stats. So Noah's stats are in general, as a Zephyr, he's got really good stats for HP, he's got good blocking stats, he's got good agility, so all of those things are going to help you to be able to get through this fight. But you can see I've been playing for quite a good time by this stage and haven't taken a great deal of his health down. He's just a beast, he's an absolute tank. He takes a lot to chip down. You've just got to keep on going and bank on the fact that you've got this party that's set up to keep you in the fight. And a part of that is gems and accessories. So for gems, I've got Ironclad 2 for every single member of the team, just to keep their HP bar high enough to be able to stay in the game. And then also for accessories, I've got mostly like guarding elements, so either giving them blocking or giving them extra HP, and if you focus on that, it means you've got less chance of just being knocked out of this boss fight too early. But Moebius K has got a huge health bar that takes a lot to chip away, so I didn't wait to use my chain attack until it was in Fury. I just used them as they came up, and they came up relatively often, or at least it felt like that. It's just a long boss fight, and the idea in this is just to be able to do as much damage as possible while also bringing up the health of my team, which is something that I've done in pretty much every one of my boss fight videos, especially the ones more recently where it's all about just bringing up their health by using healing moves for the tacticians and for the medic gunners, and then to focus on doing as much damage. So ideally what you want to do is do around about 13,000 damage for each chain attack. It doesn't always work out that well, but if you get a good 2.5, nearly 3 chain orders completed, then you should be around that ballpark. Obviously you just need to add things up to 100 to be able to get through it. It's easier said than done, and don't stress about it too much, because if you've got the other setups that I've talked you through already, then you should be able to make it through this fight, even if you don't get much more than 12,000 damage for each one of the chain attacks. So then back into the fight, and you can see Noah's taking a lot of damage, so I'm doing the same thing, just moving around. It doesn't always work out, it isn't a perfect strategy. Essentially a lot of it comes down to his stats in terms of how many shots miss and how many block. But if you can draw his attention away, it means the rest of your party could potentially get in a topple combo, and you can get in and do some more damage. Now by this stage, you should have done around about 2 chain attacks to be able to get him down to less than 50%, and he's in rage, so he's going to do a lot more damage than he was doing before, which makes this second half of the fight a whole lot more dangerous than the first half. But with all the people that can revive and give you health boosts, you should have enough to be able to make it through. If you cycle through your arts well enough, if you keep on moving, if you use your fusion attacks, if you use your Ouroboros well, then you should be able to do more than enough damage and have enough revives to be able to stay in the fight. Now I'm trying to show you as much of the action as possible so that you can see all the things that I did to be able to keep on going, doing damage, and also not having anybody completely taken out of the equation. The worst thing that can happen is that all of your medics, everybody that can revive, they all get taken out, and then it's just a certain death coming at that stage. But you can see that's rarely a worry. Taeon at the moment has got low health, but because the attention is now on me and I've been doing lots of damage, it means there's more than enough time for the other healers to be able to bring him back to life if he goes down, and also bring me back to life if I go down as well, so that it literally doesn't matter what Moebius K throws at you, you can just keep on going. A part of that is knowing when to attack and when to hang back and let other people take the attack. So you can see that a lot of attention, I think, is on Senna at the moment, so I can just hang on back. She's got a good amount of health, and the idea is that by hanging back it gives you a chance to be able to get some more health. It isn't a perfect strategy, it doesn't always work like that, so if you see that Senna's getting close to being knocked down, then get in and do some attacks and switch the attention to you. All of these things will buy you time for your healers to be able to keep everybody in the game, and it's really important just to keep cycling all that through. And what that means is that you're able to ride out any of the hairy moments, and then when you get to Taeon and Uni or Ouroboros, you're going to get a big amount of healing, which means that your team's going to have pretty much full health for this last section into a chain where you can get back up to full health and do a good chunk of damage, and suddenly Moebius K is down to around about 20% of his health bar, and it'll feel way more achievable at this stage. Even if your main character gets knocked out every now and again, you'll still be able to keep things going and keep landing your damage because the revives keep you in the fight. Other tips to take into account are to make sure that your healers, your gunner medics, have got the Vortex art in place, which gives you an extra healing opportunity, which will come in handy every now and again. And then secondly, just make sure you've got a sword fighter in your team, which means that you'll be able to start a break topple combo, which means you'll be able to knock Moebius K down every now and again, which again, you don't do huge amounts of damage when you do that, but it means you just got a little bit of time where your arts can build up and you can do damage and you can get healing, and all those things will mean that you'll be able to get through this fight a little bit better than you would do if you didn't have all those tips in place. If you haven't noticed, Moebius K has also got his own healing, so if you think this fight is just going on forever, that's kind of a big part of it, which is why doing the chain attacks comes in so helpful, because it gives you a chance to kind of break up his opportunities to do that kind of healing, and it also means that you get all your health back in place. But once you've got him down to about this stage, it's going to feel like a foregone conclusion that you're going to finish him off. So it's just a case of cycling through your arts, getting in your Ouroboros attacks, doing your fusions. You probably won't get another chain attack by this stage, but if you keep on moving, keep on following the tips that I've talked you through, then you should be able to beat Moebius K and get through to the next stage of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 storyline. And like I said earlier, if the video helps you out, don't forget to drop a like below, it's massively appreciated. Leave a comment as well, it all helps out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with the link on the left hand side, and you can see more of my guide videos for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with the links on the right hand side.